All right, people, your boy man Mike here with another special edition of the Red Cup Rants, man. Um, do I really? You probably don't remember the guy without the black, white, red, big number 34 coming at your linebackers, screaming. We're talking about. I think this is just my opinion. I think there's only two fullbacks in the Atlanta Falcons history that really set a precedent for what we are and what we need to get back to. That's Bobby Christian and this man right here, Ovie Mughelli. All right, we're talking about one of the most physical fullbacks. He could do it all. Okay, we're talking about a guy who could not only run block, pass protection. He was intelligent, and he could receive. He could go out and catch a pass. He was a complete fullback. If you don't believe me, go watch the film. It's plenty of film out here for Moog. He played for the Baltimore Ravens, of course. That is one of my favorite teams to watch. But the Atlanta Falcons, man, I don't think there's, for me, like I said, I don't think there were two fullbacks better than you guys, Bobby Christian and Ovie Mughelli, man. How you doing, man?
Good, man. After intro like that, man, I feel pretty good. You know, Bob Christian was one hell of a fullback, so being in the same sentence as him is an honor.
Yes,
Hey, look, man. That's just getting kind of getting to that's just kind of getting to your career for the most part. All right, yes.
All right, let's see. Can y'all hear me again?
Yes, we hear.
We got you.
I got you. Yeah, somebody called me on my phone. I don't know how that works with the people. I guess I should probably go on the laptop.
Hey, that's
mobile right now. Can you see me?
Hey, welcome to the club.
Yeah, no problem. I can't see myself, so I'm trying to see if y'all can see me. Let's see. Cam.
Let me try that.
There we go. No, Cam. Come on, Cam. Do I need to log in, log out?
Hey, technical. That's yeah. Log back out. It's a technical difference, man. Look, man, it happens to the best of it happens to the best of us, man.
Hey.
It happened to the best of us, man. But yeah, I don't think there's honestly, like I said, this is my opinion. I don't think there's outside of Bobby Christian, man. I love to watch Ovie. Like this dude was one of the most physical.
Yeah, we can see you now.
Physical fullbacks that I've ever seen. There we go. All right, there we go. He's one of the most physical.
The question is, what inspired me to want to play football? That's what it looks like it's saying. So
yes.
All right, so here's the thing. I grew up. I'm the son of Nigerian immigrants, and if anybody here are immigrants or are born of immigrant parents, you know, immigrants do not play. Just like they said in Hamilton, like we handle our business, and our parents, they come over this country to make a better life for us, and they constantly remind you of how life is back where they came from, where we're lucky and blessed to be America compared to some of the other countries. And work ethic was always part of just how I was built. And I had this crazy competitive streak in me because my dad was competitive, my mom was competitive. They had to, you know, compete for everything they got. So from playing this football behind the school, I hated losing. And I took that same just disdain for losing because, I mean, I'm Ovie Mughelli. From high school, I'm not like quarterback cocky. I'm not like Deion Sanders cocky, but I got that. I certainly got cocky because of the name, the last name, and what it meant to me. So I just hated letting somebody get the best of me, and took that to high school, college, the whole thing. I wanted to also, like most people, be able to take care of my loved ones, more specifically my parents. You know, I want to be able to retire them. I saw how hard they work. I wanted to create some income. And my dad's a doctor, so I wanted to do the whole doctor thing, but I was decent at football, so I give that a shot. So my motivation was just not letting somebody get the best of me and try to create, you know, some generational wealth for my family.
Would you say you're a little bit crazy? What do they really say about you in high school? Is he crazy as hell? Like that's what I want to know.
I'm a lot of bit crazy. To play football, you gotta be a little bit crazy. Fullback in the football team, you have to be a lot of bit crazy. Like I'm a human battering ram that had to like numb my whole body to pain. I had to almost enjoy the pain, almost like seek it out. Like I wanted it. Like I wish somebody would try to, you know, ring my bell because that means I brung their bell. That was a lot of bit crazy. I didn't even speak English. I used to just, you know, do like snorting and growls and grunts and just yells and the whole game. I was talking to Mike Turner. Mike's like, "Oh, yo," but the safety rolls are like, "Ah!" You're like, "No." How am I gonna get the safeties? If they both in the A gaps, you take the one on the right, the one on the left. I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I got you, Mike. I got you. My bad. Calm down here." Because when I play, it's somewhere else. So, good point. A lot of bit crazy.
Just a little bit crazy. All right, we definitely need that.
Yeah.
So I'm about to say, what was your experience blocking for running backs Ward Dunn and Jarris Norwood when you played for them?
Yeah. It was fun, man. I always had a good relationship with my tailbacks, man. With Warwick, it was tough. That was the tough one. We didn't get a chance to bond that much because we came in a very difficult time where the Mike Vick stuff was going on, with all the dog fiascos. So we had Bobby Petrino, and it was it was already bad. And we had our quarterbacks were like Joey Harrington, Byron Leftwich, great guys, not great quarterbacks at that time.
Well, they sucked. I'll say it for you. They sucked. Okay, they sucked.
Oh my! It was just rough, man, because a lot of leaders. It was a lot of finger pointing. It was toxic. So trying to make it happen, especially at a time where I was the highest paid fullback in NFL history at the time. So I came in as a free agent to where, and y'all know it, a lot of Falcon fans like, what the heck they doing getting a fullback? It's like giving $18 million. We need a we need whatever.
I love it.
Not hate mail, but I had hate mail on my Facebook, my Twitter. Like, yo, why are you here? The reason we losing because we didn't get a good receiver. Why we spend all this money on fullback? I'm on my phone like, I don't know you. Why is you in my DMs? I felt like I had to prove myself. If I couldn't prove myself, if I was on the sideline, because we're losing by 38 every single game, and so it was a rough year. And even me and Warwick, we couldn't gel because it was just a bad situation every single game. It was arguing and fighting in the meet rooms every single week. It was just toxic. And again, Warwick is a hell of a dude, hell of a person. But we weren't in a situation, an environment where we could really connect. It was just Cass was mad every day. Cass was just irritated every day. But with Jerry and Mike, when the new wave came in, and Thomas Dimitrov and Mike Smith and Matty Ice, the new rookie quarterback, we had Michael Turner and Jarius. Man, that was fun. Like that was straight love, laughs. It was fun. Like Jarius and Mike, we was the RBs, and we break it down and sometimes let each other know that it's gonna be our game. We don't have to carry everybody. Like it's the pass game, they got great DBs. They shut down the pass, but they can't stop us. No one can stop us. So we had that brotherhood that was solid. We had that mentality. Me, Mike, and Jarius, where I knew where they was gonna go before they went there. I could read the defense, see who's blitzing, see the linebackers in the A gap, be able to know just off of how we practice and just knowing them. Oh, Michael bounces outside. I couldn't take inside the tackle, but I already know. Let's take inside the tackle. Let's bounce outside. Let's pull that linebacker inside, get him trapped in, and then let's bounce outside and take it on up. And one of the coolest things is because I don't have a highlight video because No one cares about fullbacks. But if I Google Michael Turner highlight videos, I'm on all the things. I'm on all the things. And I always slow motion pictures of me blocking. And when I'm in the background, they try to get a slow motion of Michael Turner. But we had a great relationship. Even now, last week Jerry set me up. Was like, hey man, me, you, Mike, Antoine, we whole crew, we gotta get back together because we
man, Antoine.
We all not grow apart. We all just get busy, especially with this pandemic. We're like, hey man, we gotta get some 6 feet quarantine get-togethers just so we can reconnect. So those are my boys, man. Always be my boys.
Hell of a bag.
Football question.
All right.
You just kind of elaborate on something that I want to expand on just a little bit. What's the difference between blocking for a Jarius Norwood and a more scat back? You know what I'm saying? Like a guy that is, you can't play a Barry Sanders and a guy like Michael Turner. What's the difference? Like what are you thinking when you are blocking for Jarius Norwood on one play and you're blocking for a Michael Turner? Like what are you thinking as a fullback?
Man, if you've seen Jarius run, you see Michael run, they're both fast, but Jarius is fast, like capital F fast. Ain't no such thing as being patient. You got to make a decision and stick with that decision, right or wrong. Because if not, I feel Jarius's hand on my back of my pads pushing me forward. And the funniest thing ever is he'll be directing me. He'll have his hand on my back. Like, no, come on, block him to the right. And I'm trying. I said, just pass me, Wood. Just pass me. And he threw it. But for Mike T, I can be patient a little bit. I know he doesn't have quite the speed that Jarius has, so I can take my time. And like I mentioned before, I can, do a fake step inside to pull the linebacker in and bounce outside. But I just knew if I ran through somebody and we ran that power formation, then Mike was going to follow me. He was always going to follow me. Jared sometimes got a little bit of, creative. But Mike, he knew that he ain't got the speed to bounce it outside all the time. So if we're running inside tackle, if we're running like 42 ice straight in the A gap, he loved them things. And I would just make sure I cover my guy up or just staying on top of him. I do it all the time, keep my feet moving. But as long as I occupy these guys, they got, ain't nothing they can do. They're trying to arm tackle Mike, which ain't going to bring him down. They try to reach out and look where the linebacker is.
No.
Tailback is. They got, Ovie Mughelli all up in their face, push them down. That's the thing I love. They look for the tailback, got him. Keep on moving forward, get him to the ground. And as always, when you slam to the ground, you got to, use your knee on their stomach or their chest, their neck to get up and say, know who you are. That's football. That's football. So
boy.
they sit there mad the whole time. He used his knee to get up on me. I said, well, the ground, I couldn't find no grass. So I just had to, use my knee right here, get on up, and come see me next play. And they never come see me right there. But it was fun, man. I definitely had some fun memories of playing ball and playing guys.
All right. So what was your greatest memory in your playing days?
Greatest memory playing days. I have a lot. The one off the field that I have to say was when, I busted my ass trying to play in Baltimore, and I was with Stone Cold Killers. I was with Ray Lewis. I was with Peter Bowen.
Man, boy.
Oh, God.
I think Tony Siragusa was there. We had Deion Sanders, Ed Reed, Chris McAllister was one of the hardest hit quarterbacks at the time. We had everybody.
That was a mom team, man.
It was just like some crazy people. I think had just won the Super Bowl the year before. So I was on a scout team. Me and Musa Smith from University of Georgia. We was both drafted third round.
Oh, I remember him.
And we was scout team RBs. So we had to go up against those monsters every single day. And you either get really good or you quit. And I didn't come that far to quit. So I got really good to the point where, those guys say, hey, man, calm down. We got to play Sunday. I'm like, I get hyped. Game survive. But it helped me develop because Sundays were easy. after practicing against these monsters, Sundays was easy. And 1, 2, 3, 4 years in Baltimore, I was the top fullback free agent in 07 and signed a deal in 07, like I said, for $18 million. But the coolest part was that Arthur Blank sent his private jet. Now, your boy never been in a private jet before. And Mr. Blank was private jet to Baltimore to pick me up.
Wow.
And I remember my parents were going to meet me in Atlanta to sign this record-breaking contract at the time. And the liaison, I think it was Kevin Winston or whoever was, reached out to me to set everything up in logistics. I was like, how my parents get here? And they're like, oh, well, they're taking a first-class flight. I was like, well, they've never been in a private jet either, and I would really love them to experience this. Is it okay if we could take a detour instead of going straight from B-More to Atlanta, go to B-More to my hometown of Charleston, then go to Atlanta? He's like, well, I'm gonna make a call. And Mr. Blake's like, yeah, no problem. Yeah, be some money on gas, but no problem. I said, wow, that's love. Like I just asked him. He said yes. I got a chance to create a moment for my parents that they to this day talk about. And the reason it's my favorite moment is because it's their favorite moment. So we have pictures of a private tarmac. I grew up in Charleston. Never even knew this private airport existed. And so Blank sent a limo to my parents from their house to this tarmac, picked them up. I remember, the stairs coming down. I came like halfway down the stairs. I said, Mama, your boy made it. From Nigeria to Falcons, 8-figure contract. And it was just so good, eating lobster and steak and having just laughing and talking and flying over there and getting the limo picked up and go and signing the contract and smiling. My mom was in her African garb, like the headdress and everything, and she was just so proud. My father was so proud, and that stays with me, give him that experience. On the field, probably one of my my best moments was it was actually. And hopefully you guys will allow me to tell the story. It wasn't with the Falcons. It was my first touchdown in the NFL. It was when we played the Tennessee Titans, and we came there with the late, great quarterback Steve McNair. And so Steve McNair gave an amazing halftime speech because we were down by 3 touchdowns. And if you remember the 4th year, 2003, 4, 5, 6, 2006, we had Kyle Boyd for 3 years in Baltimore. He was garbage. Love you, Kyle, but he was garbage. And he tried his best. But we lost so many games where the whole team was like, come on, Kyle, again. I mean, and me and Jamal Lewis was just, we did our best. We ran the ball. We was doing good, but it just wasn't going. So they brought Steve McNair there that 4th year in 06. And he came to the Titans. And the Titans, they really didn't want him. He was washed up. He was old. And Brian Bill, we'll take him. He wanted to win so bad in Tennessee because they obviously didn't want him. And we went there. We just did terrible, down by 3 touchdowns. He gave one of the realest halftime speeches about just how bad you had to want it, about how much it's meant to you, about, in case, tomorrow never happened, what you want your legacy to be. It was like one of those things I remember the Titans. I was sitting there, you want to run through a brick wall for your boy Steve. And I told him, we all told him, we got you, Steve. It was in the 3rd quarter, on the first drive out there. It was a simple 5-yard and out. I ran 5 yards. I was running out. I saw Steve looking. I said, well, he has to look, 1st, 2nd, 3rd check. I'm that last check. He turns to me. He throws the ball. He leads me.
I know what you're talking about.
He leads me.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Linebacker, fall off me. I turn up the seams, and a second linebacker misses, and I'm just running. I'm looking. Ain't nobody there.
I remember that.
Down, and it was corny. I took 1 step into the touchdown. I wanted to make sure I got there first. I jumped I jumped up there. It came down. And I was just so excited to get my first NFL touchdown. It was for my boy Steve, and especially means a lot more now that he ain't with us anymore. But we came back and we won the game by a field goal. And I kicked it off by having a 38, 42-yard pass to turn into a touchdown. And I got a picture in my office of me and Steve. We went to a charity bowling event, and it always means so much to me that I can at least give him that. Because he came to me and said, He pointed at me. He's like, "You started it all. You started it off, young man. You started it off." And I was like, "Yeah, I did." So that's my favorite football moment. That's it.
Okay. I'm about to say, who was the toughest guy you had to block?
I just got Gucci.
Toughest guy. Oh man, you know what's funny? I hated Tequila Spikes. His big old monkey. He's man. He's like,
that neck alone says everything.
I love Spike. I call him.
Yeah.
Scariest silverback I've ever met in person. I say that levelly too. That's my boy. We have the same agent. But Kendrell Bell, I used to hate him. Ray Lewis, it's ingrained. Like I was scared, like legit scared my rookie year. When you watch a guy in high school and in college, and he has like the look around him. Like Ray came to my foundation event in Miami this past year, and hell of a guy, real cool. But he was a monster. He was the ringleader of the monsters in Baltimore, and he hit hard. But one of the strangest answers, not strangest, but people don't think that this guy would be the guy I put. Al Wilson, Denver Broncos.
Al Wilson.
He was a hitter too.
Not the biggest guy. He hit me so hard to where I remember going to the sidelines and taking a bunch of Tylenol, just popping them pills because my whole body hurt. And it was just, maybe it was like compact he was, like a fire hydrant. Every time I went shoulder to shoulder, I felt like my shoulder was dislocated. I had to put that thing back. And it was running there and just throwing my body in and I was low-key holding him. Like I was putting my hand here and just hold them because I don't know what it was about that game. But Al Wilson, he comes with it. Every time. Every time we hit.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, man.
So I got a question for you. Since you got to play with Matt Ryan early on, what do you think about Matt Ryan as a quarterback? Is he the best quarterback that you ever played with? I know he was the best quarterback you played with in Atlanta, but where does he stand? Rank? How do you rank him compared to other quarterbacks in today's game and the quarterbacks that you played with in your career?
Yeah, y'all gonna have to put some respect on Matt Ryan's name. That's all I gotta say. And when I clap, when I talk, that means I'm serious.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Matt Ryan's name. I mean, how many records he got to break? How many stats does he have to be the number one, number two at? I mean, I get the whole not winning the Super Bowl thing, and I get the whole 23 thing. About the fact that he even recovered from that shows the mental toughness of him. Because I would have been destroyed if I was a quarterback and I was part of that team. Man, you wouldn't see nothing from me ever again because that would be so haunting to me. Matt is a QB that can win Super Bowls. He showed that's in the Super Bowl run. He showed that year after year. It's about making sure that he has the whole package around him. And so I dare somebody who's like, "Oh, get rid of Matt Ryan, get rid of Matt Ryan," to find a quarterback that can be as consistent as he is year after year. It's only a handful. It's only a handful of quarterbacks, and they ain't leaving where they're at because they're legends. So, if the Falcons nation and the Falcons fans really want to win a Super Bowl, they're going to keep on riding the coattails of Matt Ryan and the same, squeaky voice kid from Boston College that I was able to play with in 07, his rookie or 08, his rookie year, is the same guy who has grown so much to where they need to have multiple statues for Matt Ryan, whether he wins the Super Bowl or not, for making us a year after year contender when he has a good offensive line. Now, those 14, 15 years we had no offensive line, that was an embarrassment to him. And that was a mistake on the team's part as far as protecting one of their prized possessions. But regarding Matt, yeah, he's definitely the best quarterback I played with. In Atlanta, Steve McNair, he's just a great, QB because of who he is and what he's done. But around the league, I'd say Matt's easily top 10 quarterback. I think even top 5 quarterback. But you need to have the O-line and the threat of the run and the full package on defense to be able to help that being a great quarterback equal wins.
Wow.
Hey, I've been saying this for a while, man, but they can't stand when I say that. They hate when I say it. So the fact that you said it, man, that's it.
I play with the dude, man, and they say, "Oh, he needs more fire. He needs more this, and he needs more that." Ain't nobody want to win more than Matt Ryan. I've seen him in the huddle, grab me by the face mask, and Ovie, if you drop one more ball again, I will cut you. You hear me? I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, man." I love it though. I love when he gets fired up because he wants it. You know, he really, really wants it. I got another great picture of fantasy when they were doing the Falcon Legend things. I think it was last year, the Georgia Dome. They brought the cars around, and they had Roddy White, Michael Vick in the last car, and they was celebrating with Falcons Legends. For some reason, they involved me in that thing, and when I was coming out, Matt was coming in after halftime. He saw me. I said, "Go get him, Matt." Hey, he stopped what he was doing, came to the side, dapped me up, gave me a hug, and said, "Hey, man, I appreciate it. You deserve that." And I was like, "You still remember me? Okay, I didn't know you." No, Matt he's a real solid dude. Real solid dude, family man. Everything that you want in a franchise quarterback, check. He check those boxes. So again, well, we're lucky to have him as a city, lucky to have him as a franchise.
So what do you think about the player opt-outs? And do you think a season's going to be happening this year?
What do you think about what now?
The players opting out.
Oh! Shoot, I can talk about this for 30 minutes. Me and the wife always figure out like, what would I do if I was playing right now? These opt-outs, man, it's real because it's a tough decision. I mean, if your wife's pregnant, if you got like vulnerable people in your family, then it makes that decision that much harder for you because who cares about the money you make if you kill your loved ones? I mean,
right.
You bring COVID home because you're blocking somebody. You got, forget droplets like loogies and saliva and yelling in your face, and you're on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
Impossible to be on the sideline and keep your mask on when you're huffing and puffing, breathing. Everyone's be doing this all in each other's mouth. The NFL's not in a bubble. There's no. I'm at a gas station right now. When somebody leaves the Falcons practice, goes to a gas station, grabs the handle that somebody else grabbed, scratches their face, whatever. Put that stuff right in their eye, coronavirus, the next day. They can't test it fast enough. Like, I am praying I am wrong, but I just don't see how it's going to be able to be safe for anybody. You literally rolling the dice, especially if you got pre-existing conditions. I'd opt out, but it happens. I mean, it depends on who can financially afford to do that. A lot of these guys are going to the NFL so they can create that generational wealth for their family, and the same way they'll risk dying because of concussions, and they'll risk being injured and changing the way they walk and they move for the rest of their life for a chance to make millions. These same guys will probably risk, if they don't have the money already, risk dying because of COVID, because it's hard to make millions of dollars on this planet, and it's somebody who was blessed to do that. And even my medical sales business now is going well, but I ain't making millions as easy as I was making in playing ball. And anyone that plays ball and then goes to the real world and tries to equal their salary outside, they'll realize that, dang, I had it good. I played a child's game. And yeah, I worked hard, and yeah, it was grueling, and I put in my time, but there's nothing like being able to do something you love, play the childhood game that you grew up playing, and to get paid handsomely for that. So these guys have a real tough decision to make. I change it every day regarding what I would do if I was there. It just depends on how safe I felt, because hopefully the teams are doing what they're supposed to. Hopefully the leagues are what they're supposed to. But I mean, it's going to be, again, impossible for them to do right by the players on every single situation. There's certain times where you're just going to have to chalk it up as I got to go and take chances. Like, you watch Hard Knocks, and they got masks on, they got masks off, they got masks on, they got masks off. They're in walkthroughs, and they're talking right here in front of each other. if any of them have COVID, and again, I work in medical sales. My dad's a doctor. My sister's a doctor. They all said that everybody has it. Like, just assume that everybody has it. If you do, you'll act appropriately. And if you assume that everyone has it, they're passing it everywhere. And it's going to be interesting to see how the season goes on. But I wish the best for the players, and I hope that things turn out in a positive way.
Most definitely. So this is gonna flow right into our next question. Go ahead and talk a little bit about your Ono consulting and how was that inspired?
Yeah, no, that's my medical sales consulting firm. My dad wanted me to be a doctor. He had plans of Mughelli and Sons, or Mughelli and Mughelli. And again, God bless all doctors, especially OBGYNs. That thing is hard. Being a physician is hard. I saw how hard he worked. He's gone for Christmas, gone for New Year's, always on call. And plus, being an OBGYN, that's a special person who wants to do that. Like, I love the whole gift of childbirth, but it's a lot. I'll leave it there. It's a whole lot to do, and I couldn't do it. I wanted to play ball. So after I finished playing ball, I did some TV and radio with CBS and Fox and Sports Illustrated, and I did some color analyst work for ACC Network, and it was fun. But I was pre-med at Wake Forest, had a sports medicine major. My sister, went to MUSC med school, and she, loved the medical field, and I still had a desire to do what I went to school for, at least be in that field. So I figured, if I can't be a doctor, let me help doctors. And I started Ono Consulting so I could improve patient outcomes and increase practice revenue for physicians, because doctors like my father, they work hard, and it's hard to make money, especially if you're a private practice. You don't sell your practice to the doctors and become an employee. For those who want to stay private practice, it's hard to know who to trust. Because of my background, because of I went and got a master's in business from George Washington University, spent 2 years so I can, better help these doctors with the business of medicine. They trust me. And I always ask them, would you rather have one guy helping you with your toxicology, one guy helping you with your cancer screening, one guy helping you with the allergy testing, one guy helping you with cardiomyopathy and Alzheimer's testing, one guy helping you with all these different ancillary services in your office, and have 6 different guys to talk to? Or would you rather have one Ovie Mughelli that can help you manage and deal with all of the issues that you have to deal with in your office? Plus, I tell great football stories at dinner. So I have a lot of doctor friends.
Yeah, you do.
And we have fun, but we also take care of business. I'm able to increase their revenue around 6 figures or more with a lot of services that they knew about, but they didn't quite know how to really put them in their office and integrate them in a way to where it's not taking their staff's time and taking their money and taking risk. So I have a secret weapon in my dad and my sister to help me out. But I've also been able to make some great relationships by playing a little ball. And when a 2-time All-Pro Atlanta Falcons fullback goes to an Atlanta doctor and asks them, if I can have a conversation on how I can help you make money, most of the doctors, private practice doctors, at least give me the time of day. So I've been able to be blessed by the city. And guys know, or who would like to, especially this pandemic, be able to make more money and help their patients. We do everything from the COVID testing to the PPE, to having access to the sanitizers, the booties, the rapid tests, the whole thing, the mask. We've been able to really, really, really step our game up, and have had to hire more people because, like I said, it's a pandemic where people are struggling and they're looking for someone they can trust. So it's been a blessing to be a blessing at this time, and it gives me a chance to still stay close to my dad and my sister as far as working together.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Goodness gracious. I guess we're going to stay on, but I know you had prior engagement, so I just want to say that I truly appreciate this. In my opinion, like I said, there's only 2 fullbacks in Falcons history that I think the best. And honestly, I have a hard time even saying that anybody's better than you, to be honest. Like this is just my personal opinion. I like physical fullbacks who are not afraid to punch someone in the face. And that's every time I saw you smack a linebacker and just like stand over them and like scream at them. Like, I remember this stuff, man. I remember all of this, man. Yeah. Like, man, I like this. When you talk about facts, this guy is a true fullback, man. And I just miss the Atlanta Falcons and just the DVD days and just Mike Turner, man. Like this guy he didn't get the biggest contract in fullback history for no freaking reason. He was that damn good. Ovie was that damn good. So let's put some respect on this name as far as the Atlanta Falcons concerned, man. I think, like I said, this man I think he's the greatest fullback that I've ever seen. All right. I'm gonna just end it like that before I go any further. So if you wanna tell the guys, tell the fans here, Atlanta Falcons Nation, man, Matt Mike Sports, where can they find you and what do you have going on as of right now that you want the fans and people to know about?
Absolutely. And I actually did myself a disservice, and my wife's gonna punch me in the face when she sees me because I didn't talk about. So a big part of what I do is my nonprofit. Again, I'm blessed to be on the board of United Way here in Atlanta, and I'm on several other boards where I try to use my stature and my influence to help make the world a better place. But my foundation is all about the environment. I'm the first NFL player to have a fully environmental foundation. And people will say at first, like, why the heck is an NFL player caring about, the environment? That sounds like some tree hugger, hippie type of thing. Like, NFL players don't do environment. And they're right. That's why I was the first. But the reason I started doing it was because my son and my daughter were born premature and their lungs weren't fully developed. And after like 2 grueling months in the NICU, watching them, just grow and fight for their lives in a little bubble where like 5 or 6 kids didn't make it. Like 5 or 6 kids in the NICU died while I was there waiting for my kid to get out. And I was with the Falcons at the time of training camp. It's tough. So after all that, we get our kids out, or so we think, and we have to rush them back in for another month hiding because of the air quality in Atlanta. And our doctor called us up and told us that the air quality at the time, the smog level, was the parts per whatever, particles of toxic whatever in the air could have killed my kids. And that just blew my mind when the reason I got that big contract, the reason I worked my butt off was because I wanted to protect my kids as a father. And knowing that the money or the fame or the influence couldn't protect my kids, I wanted to figure out, well, what am I doing or what can I be doing that can? And what I could be doing that could is to take, a huge role or get involved in something that needs help from Black and brown communities and needs help as far as just getting more awareness to it. And that's, climate change, global warming, environmental justice, all these things that athletes should care about. We breathe more air and drink more water than regular people, yet, athletes are pushing, taking care of our environment as much as we should have. So I started my own comic book called Gridiron Green, where it's a former NFL player like myself who gets involved in the environment. He has superpowers. It's kind of like a Black Captain Planet or like a environmental
Captain Planet, yeah.
Thing. It's just a dope comic book that I did with the United Nations, which was a really great opportunity. I mean, when the UN says, hey, we're pushing these things called SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, and we want to get more people, especially Black and brown people who aren't as involved in the environment when the environment disproportionately affects Black and brown people, from the hurricanes, the floods, the fires. You see, more plants, more landfills, more toxic dumps in our neighborhoods. You don't see it in the suburbs. You see it in our neighborhoods. Cancer Alley, all these issues that we don't talk about enough. We ride for social justice, but we ain't riding for environmental justice, which is just as important and just as bad. And it's because we ain't talking about it. We don't have no people talking about it. So I'm trying to be a mouthpiece to get important issues that are not only going to help my kids, but all kids out there. And that's what the foundation's been really pushing for, using Again, comic books. We have something called Green Tailgate, where we teach sports fans to tailgate in an environmentally responsible way. We have Recycle on the Run, where we kind of reinforce recycling while you running and doing football activities. We're really just trying to change the way people think about this, because if we keep on ignoring it, it's a slow-moving monster that by the time it hits us, it's gonna be too late. So while we, caring about very important issues, we can't forget about this one. So the website is omfgreen.org, Ovie Mughelli Foundation Green.org, and you'll see a little 2-3 minute video kind of wraps up what we do and why we do it. We're always trying to, especially now in the pandemic, get some donations to do a virtual sustainability STEM curriculum where we talk about how to make green by going green. Because the easiest way to get Black and brown people involved in this environmental thing is to show them how you can use this to be able to help uplift yourself out of your situation so you can do good and do well. So we have a lot of programs we're trying to push. A lot of it got derailed because of the pandemic, but we're still pushing forward and doing everything virtual. Between that and back to my medical consulting business, it's ono-consulting.com is the website. ono-consulting.com. You can check out some of the things I do to help my doctors. If you are a physician, a physician, chiropractor, primary care, cardiologist, neurologist, whoever, let me know. I'd love to help them and see how we can help each other out in this situation, in this pandemic. That was a mouthful. Sorry about that.
All right, that's all good.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys.
We thank you for coming on.
No problem. We'll talk soon.
All right. Salute.
Yes, sir.
He got, like I said, he got the perfect first name.
Mike too, I see. Hey everybody, this is the Red Cup Rants. Hold on, let me get my stuff together.
The ratchet part of the show.
Ratchet part of the show, y'all. But yeah. We lost Mike too. We lost.
Hey, that's my phone. My bad. Got technical difficulties.
Thank y'all for hanging on. We had Uzi on, but you know what? We still got some show left. Let's go. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead and get in this while we're waiting on Mike. Let's get in this. What's been happening, y'all?
Hey, man. I just seen that the Falcons just signed Luke Stalker. I think we signed him today, tight end. And I was just talking about him last week about how bad he played last season. So I know there's got to be a depth move with us bringing in Luke Stalker. Hopefully we bringing him in just to be a blocker, because last year, we bringing him in for depth. I really think we're bringing him in for depth. But I talked him up last week, y'all, on the show. We were talking about how poorly he played every time Matt Ryan threw him a pass to get intercepted. But hopefully he comes back and hopefully he done worked on his game during this pandemic. He done went. What you think about the move, Kevin? I don't know about bringing Luke Stalker back. I guess they brought him back for depth. Probably be the third or fourth string tight end. That's what I'm thinking.
Man, he gonna get cut. Gonna be honest. Because if you seen what I said about him earlier this week, yeah, you'd be like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, man. I mean, I wasn't looking forward to him coming back to the Falcons, but I think, as Mike's been saying on his channel, Mad Mike's been saying, Dirk Cutter likes veteran players that knows his playbook. So I really think that they brought him back to kind of bring these young players along. The kid Peekney that we talked about last week, the undrafted free agent. So I think they just brought him back to kind of help these young players, Jaden Graham and these young guys, to bring those guys along. We all know that the starter is going to be Hayden Hurst. I don't know if you guys been going to AtlantaFalcons.com, but you seen the new practice jerseys. Joints look fire. The new helmet, some joints fire.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, Kevin, what you think about the new practice gear? The new practice gear to me look like the game jersey, so it looks fire, man.
Hey man, I'm just waiting on mine to come in the mail.
Hey man, I gotta get mine. I ain't got mine yet neither, man. I think I want to get me a Grady jersey. I gotta get me a Keanu Neal. It's a couple jerseys I gotta get, man. But I gotta get every color. I gotta have that red and black joint. I gotta have that home joint, and I definitely gotta have that ice joint because all white joints is fire. So I definitely looking forward to the season. We're getting closer and closer to the season getting started. So we got Mike back. Mike, I was just talking about Luke Stalker being re-signed. I don't know if you've seen that.
Man, yeah, man. Like, not all of a sudden storms want to come and kick me off. Look, man.
Hey, long as it was going good for the guests. Ovie was awesome, y'all. He was awesome.
Hey, man, look, that's something, bro. Like, this. I don't know if, like I said, I love to see fullbacks knock the living shit out of linebackers, defensive linemen. Like, I just love to see it. So, we really have to get back to where we were before, man. It's because we got to get more physical. And you heard what Ovie said, man. Like, he enjoys, just think about that. He enjoys knocking the living hell out of people. And I asked him, is he crazy? Hell yeah, you got to be just a little bit kind of crazy.
A little crazy.
To do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Just a little crazy. But that ain't even what I want to brag about. That ain't what I want to brag about. I want to brag about all you Matt Ryan haters. Matt Ryan has. This is the third guest. This is the third guest. All right? Third guest. 3 professional football players that said, y'all got to put some respect on his name. So, motherfucker.
And clap when he talks about it. Put some respect on that man's name. You hear me?
I'm a drink.
Put some respect on his name. Motherfucker. That's all.
Y'all know Mike loving that. He gonna do another rant coming up. Be ready for that Mike rant coming after this episode.
Hey, man. You know I had to do that. You know I'm gonna give it to the haters, man. Bring it on. I got all day. All right, man. I got all day to talk about that. But that like, as far as Luke Stalker, my bad, man. Look, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Like I said in my video, I really don't like it, but I understand where they're coming from. They need a blocker, and that's what I'm trying to put myself in that frame, that mind frame, because you have guys, Hayden Hurst. He's had a history of injuries, but he's also a player that had necessarily he hasn't had the time to be the guy, and this is the first time that he's actually he's going to be that guy. And Luke Stalker, as much as I don't like, I'm not going to say I don't like him. I just don't trust him because it just seems like every time he's on the field, some voodoo, like he tripped over somebody's shoe, or he took the ball out, or he thought he was going to do this. Like something always weird happened with him. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. So as far as Luke, he's a good blocker, but outside of that, man, if he's going to help this offensive line, the Falcons, protect Matt Ryan, I'm all for it, man.
All right, man. What do you think about the new uniforms, Mike? I was talking about the uniforms when you had went out for a little bit. The practice uniforms, the new helmet. To me, all the new uniforms is fire to me. I'm loving it. I'm loving every bit of the new design, man. That chrome face mask, dope, man.
Ooh, hey, I'm gonna say this, man. You saw Mr. Mughelli, man. If you guys haven't seen that, I'm calling him a Nigerian nightmare. All right, this dude. If you see a big 204 2.0, right? 2.0, the Nigerian nightmare 2.0, coming at you through 250 pounds with a head like Mughelli, like, bruh, would you be scared? Would you be scared? And he's dressed in all black. Yeah, that's what that. That jersey signifies fear and aggression, and that's what the Falcons need. They need to instill fear into teams, and they need to get back aggressive and punch people in the mouth. So I love and it brings back that Michael Vick feel. That Michael Vick feel that fans, not to say that, I know it's a lot of controversy just bringing up Michael Vick's name, but that fandom, like that atmosphere when Michael Vick was the quarterback, it seems like that was the first time in a long time that the Falcons nation, the Atlanta Falcons nation, has been all together. And let's just be honest. This is the first time. That was the first time that the Falcons nation has all been together. That's one positive out of the Michael era that I will always say that no one who was an Atlanta Falcons fan and people who were outside of the Atlanta Falcons nation wanted to be a part of the Atlanta Falcons nation. So I love it, man. It brings back that era for me.
I have a question here. Panel, what do y'all think? Good Morning America's football prediction of the best quarterback wide receiver duo being Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper. What? I don't even want to finish reading this question.
Hey, say it again.
What the fuck is that?
Say it again.
That's what they've been talking about in the chats, because I was like, what the hell happened? So everybody was upset about that, but what the fuck is that?
What in the Pro Football Focus bullshit is that?
Man, if you don't, this man can't even look. This dude can't even stay on his feet. He got sacked 6 times by goddamn Adrian Claiborne, and you say he the best dude.
Lord Jesus.
That's all I have to say. Get the fuck out of here with that crap.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Hey, man,
my mad Mike impression.
Hey, man, look, I told y'all. Hey, this is how our lives go, man. Y'all know how I do it. I don't hold back on my live shows, bro. I don't hold back.
Look, come on and move. Let's go ahead.
He can't get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Dak Prescott. That motherfucker can't even run. But you gotta tell him when to run. He's black. You're a black quarterback. What the hell we gotta tell you to run? The fuck kind of sense that make? All black people do is run. And we can tell this black Negro when to run? Come on, bro. Let's be real. Dak Prescott ain't good at nothing. But some kissing Jerry Jones' ass. That's what he good at.
Look at Nikki with her irrelevant team right there. Go, yeah, I see you, Nikki.
Ain't nobody scared of Miss Nikki, okay? She can go to hell with Dallas Cowboys too. All the Dallas Cowboys fans can go to hell. Damn Dallas Cowboys. Y'all won shit in 30 years. At least we been to the goddamn Super Bowl. Y'all motherfuckers ain't sniffed that shit.
Oh. Shots fired.
Truth. Ain't no shot fired. That's true. Ain't no shot fired. Right. They ain't never had that motherfucker. When the last time they even been close to the motherfucker?
But that's my dog,
the damn NFC Championship.
That's my dog.
I love you, Nikki, but it's the truth. Hey, I love you, Nikki, but it's the truth. Y'all motherfuckers ain't even sniffed the NFC Championship, okay? Ain't sniffed that motherfucker, but y'all America's team. Man, get that fuck out of here. Look, man, y'all go somebody else talk, because I'm getting angry. Just go. Please go.
We got here, who will win the third receiver spot?
Russell Gage. Russell Gage is going to be the slot receiver. We seen a maturation of him last season. The former LSU wide receiver. Russell Gage, man, he's special in the slot. He's going to be one of those guys that's going to help move the chains. We seen last year when Mohamed Sanu was traded to the Patriots. He stepped right in that possession receiver role. And Russell Gage has done a great job over the last seasons of developing. So Russell Gage, man, he's going to be special. He's going to be a special this season. And I really think that him and Hayden Hurst are going to be those guys on third down chains. If you remember, for the last couple seasons before Mohamed Sanu was gone, he was that guy that we like to put in the slot, and he could do that little slow move he would always do, but he would always fake everybody out. And he had good hands. So I think Russell Gage is going to easily win that third spot. I do think that Treadwell is going to surprise a lot of people, though. Don't sleep on Laquan Treadwell. I think he still has some skills, and I think Laquan Treadwell is going to surprise a lot of people, but I think it's going to take him a while to pick up the playbook. So I think Russell Gage basically has the advantage right now because last year he got a lot of snaps later on in that second half of the season when Muhammad Sanu was traded. And then when I think Julio Jones was out the game on Thanksgiving where Russell Gage got the start. So I think Russell Gage going to win that spot easy. I think he's going to win that third receiver slot easy. What you think, Kevin?
Is there any other doubt?
Right, exactly.
There ain't no doubt about that. I saw Treadwell, like I said, his only problem in Minnesota that I saw with him was he just couldn't catch the ball.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if it was a confidence issue or nothing, but I think with working under like Julio and Matt Ryan, I think it'll help him regain his confidence, and you might see that first round pick receiver that they thought he was.
Right.
But Russell Gage, slot receiver all day.
Easy. Somebody says Zacchaeus will be the number 5 receiver. Oh, man, Zacchaeus is a dog. We seen last year what Zacchaeus could do. Zacchaeus is one of those guys that can take the top off. Zacchaeus reminds me a lot of Taylor Gabriel. I talked about that on my channel a little bit. That's who he puts me in the mind of. He's one of those guys that you can scheme open, and he's one of those guys that can fly.
Subscribe. Jude Talk Sport. Subscribe. Go ahead.
You know what, Mike? Have you been sipping, Mike? You've been sipping, Mike. I think you don't have it.
Oh, whatever you sipping over there, I need some of that.
Yeah,
I need a little bit of that.
Yeah,
It's
man.
Friday night too.
Hey, man.
Yeah, man. Zacchaeus is that dude, though, man.
I'm sober.
So he says.
Yeah, Zacchaeus is that dude, though, like I was saying, man. He's that dude that can take the top off. So Zacchaeus definitely going to be getting some time. Because we seen last year when he got his opportunity against the Panthers, he made what's the kid named Jackson look bad. He made him look bad in one-on-one coverage.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And Zacchaeus. I'm gonna say this. I don't think that the obvious question, the obvious person is Russell Gage, but this is something I'm more of a personal pick than anything for me, and I'm gonna say that we gotta keep an eye on Jaden Graham, man, because last year he made some good shots. Last year towards the end of the season, he showed the ability to not only catch, receive, but he can run after the catch, and that's what the Falcons have been needing. They've always had a tight end outside of the starter who could do something. You know what I'm saying? Like Levine, we even saw Levine Tololo do a little something, catch a little. He was slow as crap, but he could catch and he could make something happen. That's what the Falcons need. That's what the Falcons need. Nobody stores him. But I think that third guy or the second guy we need to keep an eye on outside of Calvin Ridley, because I know Calvin Ridley going to do Calvin things, especially if he and Julio stay healthy, man. Those guys are going to blow they're going to blow the roof off the stadium, man. Like they're going to put some people on their ass. They're going to put some feet and still fear on a lot of defenses, man. But I think Jaden Graham is going to be one of those guys. And I actually did a video not too it was a while ago that pretty much stated that before we even got Hunter Hearst Helmsley, who I called, I thought he would step up. So, but yeah, I think Jaden Graham is a guy to keep a close eye on. But that's it, man. What's the next question, guys? Guys and ghouls?
Let's see.
How y'all think division playing out? Y'all already know how I have it playing out. I got the Falcons winning the division. I got the Saints coming in second place. I got the Bucks in third place. And then I got the Panthers finishing last because all they got is Christian McCaffrey. So we can basically say they're going to be in the basement. Now, the Saints reason I think that the Saints are going to be over the Bucs, I talked about this previously. It's because of the chemistry. I'm looking at the chemistry, man. The Bucs, we are not having no preseason. We really ain't had a training camp. Really, everything has been so condensed. So I really think it's going to take the first, say, half of the season. It's going to take Tom Brady some time to develop some chemistry with those wide receivers. Then, as Mike talked about the running game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, everybody was talking about they signed, I think it's McCoy, but LaShawn McCoy hasn't been able to stay healthy in how long? It's been the last five seasons. He haven't been able to stay healthy. So the Bucs don't have no running game. I think people don't realize how well the Patriots actually ran the football. The Patriots has always had a great running game. Even though they have multiple running backs, I don't think people realize how well they run the football. And that's what opens up the play action pass. So I'm really interested to see what the Bucs are going to do with their offense, because another thing that's really underrated with the Patriots is their offensive line play. We all know that Tom Brady's a statue, and I don't know how well they're going to be able to block him. And we all know the way that their coach, he loves to throw the ball down the field. We always talk about Dirk Cutter and the way that he loves to pass the ball. Well, Bruce Arians, you might as well say that's Dirk Cutter Jr., because he likes to throw the ball all day long. And that's the reason why Jameis Winston threw so many picks last year. People always want to talk about Jameis Winston sucks. He threw this many picks. But if you go look at their run-to-pass ratio last year, it was crazy. 80%, I'll say probably 80% of the times the Buccaneers were throwing – if you go look at Jameis Winston's stats, most of the time he was throwing the ball 50-plus times a game. So, I mean, I don't know what you guys expect, but I feel like the Saints, with them coming back with Sean Payton, who's been there forever, Drew Brees, who's been there forever, Thomas, Kamara, and that same regime that they pretty much had, they're bringing back pretty much everybody on their defense from last year with Cam Jordan and all of those guys. So they basically know. It's just like the Falcons. We kind of all know each other. The Bucs are the only team that's kind of threw a bunch of players on one team, and everybody thinks that it's going to work out. And what it kind of reminds me of, Mike, y'all might remember this, the year that the Eagles went out and got all of those guys in free agency. When they went and got Nomney, they had a ton of guys they brought in, and that year they played terrible. Yeah, that year they played terrible. And that's what I feel about the Buccaneers. They're trying to make an all-star team, but sometimes when you throw a bunch of all-stars on one team, it don't pan out the way that you think it's going to pan out.
You just saw it. We just saw it with the Rams. The Rams, same thing. They went out and spent every dime they had. And they still didn't win.
And they missed the playoff.
And missed the playoffs.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Kevin. What you think?
Kevin, go ahead.
I'm about to say Tampa Bay got a whole bunch of old hurt folks there. I don't think they all gonna last the season.
That's true.
Cause somebody bust Rob Gronkowski's ass, he's gonna be out about 5-6 games.
Oh, he's a much smaller Rob Gronkowski too.
Oh, he gonna get blew the hell up.
Well, we all know he got a bad back, so
bad arm. His drinking hand ain't even the same.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, Saints. I don't see it because Drew Brees' arm about as dead, about as dead as my rap career.
We didn't even know you had a rap career.
Hey man,
I just throw that in there.
Oh my god, man.
And then we already know what the Panthers is. It's Christian McCaffrey and company. Bad TV show. So Falcons winning division.
You're right, and you sip on that.
How you see it playing out, Kevin? Like 1 through 4. How you see it playing out?
Falcons 1, Saints 2, Buccaneers 3, Panthers 4.
And what about you, Mike? How you see it playing out, Mike?
To be honest, and this is far from me being biased, I just don't see when you think about like football. I tell people all the time, you can put all these players together all you want to, but that doesn't mean that they're going to have chemistry. The reason why Tom Brady brought Rob Gronkowski to Tampa Bay is not because he wanted an extra. It was about chemistry. He doesn't know those guys. He doesn't know Mike Evans. He doesn't know Chris Godwin. That is established. Like that chemistry that they had was established in Tampa Bay was because of Jameis Winston and their chemistry together. So, like, I'm a big component on chemistry, putting players that mesh well together. Because, like, even go back to Michael Vick. Like, everybody say that Michael Vick didn't have receivers. That's false. He had at least 2 or 3 receivers work done, who he passed to a lot. He had Brian Finner and he had Algie Crumpler. All right, those guys had excellent chemistry together. Were they explosive? Were they Julio Jones? No, they weren't. But they had chemistry together, and they worked well together, and they won games together. You know what I'm saying? They put up many yards. Like Brian Finner was a productive 2 receiver. All right, and a lot of times he was the number 1 receiver because Mr. Who, Kevin? Mr. Who was that guy? Who you referring to?
Peerless Price.
Peerless Price was absolute trash.
Another Peerless Price comment again. Oh my God, this man getting too much shine on this show.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm talking about. But that goes with chemistry. That's why I say you can have all the players on the team you want. All right, and you can even take it to basketball. Look at everybody thought that Kevin Durant wouldn't mesh well with that team. It's like, no, that he fits right in with those guys. You have to have players that fit together, and that's what we don't know what they have. I don't know if Emmanuel Sanders is going to fit well with the Saints. We don't know that. All we know is they're going to pass that motherfucker 250 billion times to Mr. Goddamn. Who they call me? Can't guard me. That motherfucker can't even run a goddamn. He can't even separate. Talking about somebody can't guard you. Who the hell? You can't separate from nobody. You talking about you can't guard you. You throwing slants. You throwing slants all day. Come on, let's be real. So, like, when it all comes down to it, man, everybody keep putting the Saints as if they are the same Saints offense been the last 10 years or so. It's not. That is not the same offense. Drew Brees cannot throw the ball down 35 yards. In fact, he was like the last this past season. I think he threw no, it's been longer than that. I saw a crazy stat where it was like Drew Brees is throwing like 2 passes beyond 35 yards in the last 2 or 3 years or something like that. So it's like this is not the same Saints team. This is not the same Saints team. And that damn secondary, you better wait till Jesus. Pray to Jesus, Allah, Buddha, all that shit. Pray to him because that goddamn what's his name?
Voodoo dolls and all that.
Of them. Hell, look, voodoo dolls, Satan, Jesus, whoever you worship, pray to him because that secondary that y'all got, Mr. 43, Mr. 43 Williams, that dude is hot garbage.
Mr. Tap on the beat.
That was what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Mr. 43. That dude is hot garbage. And Jenkins, that man is about 2,000 years old. How long is he going to continue to play? He was trash in Philadelphia. They couldn't stop no one in Philadelphia. So you're going to tell me that with that defense, just because you have a defensive line, you're going to play well in the secondary? It doesn't work that way. You have playmakers in the secondary. All right, we cannot stop and relive the past. That was 2 years ago when they had a dominant defense. That defense is not dominant anymore. Because if Cam Jordan gets hurt, guess what? It's done. It's over with. And that's all I got to say, man. I'm trying, fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. Look, the Falcons gonna win this bitch, all right? I'm just gonna say it like that.
They're right. Say it again.
I'm gonna say it like that. The Falcons gonna win that shit.
Fuck y'all, whoever's on here hating. The Falcons going all the way.
Old ass.
I'm about to say the other thing.
The other
thing that's gonna hurt the Saints they're gonna try to use Taysom Hill like he's just the next gadget guy. He is not.
You mean Tebow Jr.? Tebow Jr. That's what you.
They want to pay this man all this money for him to throw 2 passes a year. That's gonna fuck their whole offense.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Let's go on to this next question here. Who's winning the starting linebacker next to Jones position?
Ofoye Oluokun, because he is the player that's been here, and he's the player that's been under the system. He knows the system. Now, if Ofoye mess up, if he don't play up the par, trust me, Deion Buchanan sitting right there waiting in the wings to take his spot. So he better come with it. I saw this week that they interviewed Ofoye, and he was talking right. He was talking like he's been working out. He said he was in Colorado working out. He said he was watching tape on a lot of different linebackers. But what I'm looking for from Ofoye Oluokun is, can you cover tight end? Because that's what killed us with Devondre Campbell. Devondre Campbell would have got re-signed if he could cover. Devondre Campbell was fine in the run game. He was fine when he was blitzing. He was fine when he was close to the line. But when it came to him running downfield, if he went 5 yards away from the line, he could just go pursue the ball carrier. He was good at making tackles. He led the team in tackles. So Devondre Campbell, he was a sure tackler. His main issue was, can you cover tight ends? And he couldn't cover down the field. I don't know what happened to his game, because to me, the year we went to the Super Bowl, Devondre Campbell, his covering skills were better, but it seemed like every year he got worse. I don't know why, but as he got older, it seemed like I don't know if he didn't understand the playbook. I don't know what happened to Devondre Campbell, but his coverage skills were terrible. And that's really what got him up out of Atlanta, real talk, because if he could have covered better, he would still be in Atlanta, because he was a sure tackler. To me, him and Jones were a good pairing. He was that physical guy, kind of like if you have Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright. He was that KJ Wright, as Mike talked about in one of his videos a while ago. He was that bruiser that would come downhill because he was that physical presence where he could come downhill, he can take on blockers, and he could shed block. So Devondre Campbell was a good player. A lot of people think that he wasn't a great player. He was a good player. What made him, what was his Achilles heel was his cover skills. And to me, to be honest, he had the foot speed. A lot of times he just panicked. If you go and look at a lot of plays, watch tape on Devondre Campbell, it was a lot of times where he was in the right position. He just would never turn around and look for the football. That was his biggest issue. So I think Ofoye Oluokun has a chance, and I think he's going to be the starter going into the season. Now, if he don't produce, I seen Deion Buchanan, some of the videos of that dude working out, and let me just tell you, Deion Buchanan is a straight dog. If you go look at his tape when he was with the Arizona Cardinals, one thing I like about Deion Buchanan, he plays full speed. He doesn't hesitate. And to me, that was one of Devondre Campbell's biggest issues. Him and Vic Beasley. To me, they hesitated too much. They were doing too much thinking on the field instead of just reacting. And one thing about Deion Buchanan, if you go watch his tape, one thing I love about that dude is he don't hesitate. He either go get the quarterback, he go get the ball carrier, and he's physical. So Ofoye Oluokun better be on his have his A game. But if he don't have his A game, Deion Buchanan is right there waiting for that starting position. What you think, Kevin?
You just said the name right there. I think Deion Buchanan gonna be the starter next to him. Speed kills.
Speed kills and physicality kills.
Exactly. Like I said, I like Oluokun, but like I said, it's Buchanan has more proven to be more physical. And Oluokun still got a little bit more to go. Yeah, I seen that workout that y'all talking about too. This boy is lifting back truck, so he good.
Yeah. Deion Buchanan, he eating weights for breakfast. Yeah.
Eat your Wheaties, brother.
Brother. Let's see what we got.
Lord have mercy. Deion Buchanan. Hey, man. I love physicality, man. I like physicality. Ooh, I think I have one. What the hell? Yeah, let me highlight this one. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some boom in it. All right, hold up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me put some boom in it. Here you go.
I was gonna go to that one after this one. It was another one before that I was gonna go to.
All right, go ahead, because I'm gonna get to that one. Yeah, go ahead, do your thing.
No, go ahead. We can do this one. We can do this one. I'll go to the next one after that. Go ahead. This is fine.
This got me so heated right now. Like, this question pisses me off. It pisses me off. Okay, why does it piss me off? We're talking about which coach will have the best influence on the team. This is an argument that I had with my boy Pat earlier today, because everybody likes to point the finger at Dan Quinn for the defense not quote unquote succeeding. There's many factors goes into why the defense is just not. They just weren't bringing it. We said earlier. I just said not too long ago about chemistry. You can't put a bunch of players together that don't gel well together. When you have a linebacker like Deion Jones who likes to roam the field, and he's a cover linebacker, and you got this slow piece of crap who just can't react to not a damn thing. Devondre Campbell, he's slow as hell. Okay, we're talking about goddamn what's that coyote? For that slow. He's slow. He's retarded. Okay, when they come down to examining the field and what he needs to do, yeah, he panics, but it's because he's crazy. He's slow. He's slow, and I'm talking about mentally slow. As far as reading plays, he's not there. So when you put players that are intelligent, and then you have a guy like Devondre Campbell, he can play. But his football IQ isn't there. You gotta have players that mesh well together. You can't have guys like Vic Beasley and Tack McKinley. Yeah, they have the physical attributes to be pass rushers, but the dudes are slow. Their IQ is not there. I seen Tack on number plays. They literally lining up. The fullback or tight end going towards his side. What Tack does, he doesn't set the edge. He crashes in and leaves a whole side wide open. That's IQ. That's what I'm talking about. You can't have guys that are just damn dumb. You got to use your common sense. 4-3, I don't give a damn if you want to 4-3. I don't care if you lift 500 pounds. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter without IQ. Falcons have to get players with not only the physical attributes to be dominant, which Tack has, which Vic has, but mentally they just did not understand the game. And that's why you bring in guys like Dante Fowler Jr. Yes, he has that athleticism, but he's an incredibly smart defensive lineman. Grady Jarrett, yeah, he's the son of the Hammer. Yeah, he's the son of Jesse Tuggle, but he's incredibly smart. He knows small intricate details of football and how to beat. It don't matter. He beat anybody. Offensive line, offensive line. It doesn't matter. He knows how to get the advantage, and that's what the Falcons need to get back to. Bringing a guy like Dale Buchanan, who doesn't think, like you were just saying, he doesn't think. He sees what he sees what his key is, and he attacks it. And anytime you attack it, you eliminate that second thought. And you can't be caught hard by like quarterbacks can't take advantage of your indecisiveness when you're decisive, if that makes sense to you guys. So I just hate I'm just saying I'm one of those players, like, we can't keep blaming the head coaches. We can't keep blaming the coaches when players not executing. That's what it comes down to. Players got to execute, dog. I don't give a fuck how many plays that you call be the right play, but a motherfucker fall down or he do something stupid. It doesn't matter what the play call is. So player needs to be held accountable for what they do on the don't do on the field. That's all I got to say, man.
Yeah, man. I kind of want to piggyback on you before I answer this question. What Mike was saying, and I said this again, like I said on my channel, Jew Talk Sports. Y'all go sub the channel. But this was like last year. You can go back and look on my page, go back to my videos. During last season, I talked about it. That when Julio Jones, a first ballot Hall of Famer, which Julio Jones is going to be, he came out after one of those games we were on that losing streak, and he said, "This is not on Dan Quinn. Guys are not executing. Guys are not doing their job. Point blank in the period." And to me, when I heard Julio Jones say that, that's when I got on the bandwagon of Dan Quinn is coming back, because Julio Jones have never came out and spoke for any other head coach, but yet he came out and spoke for Dan Quinn, even though we were like 1-7 starting the year off. So that spoke volumes to me when they said that Julio Jones, a person that's not even vocal really, if he comes out and speaks for you, and I talked about this as well on my channel, that if Matt Ryan, your leaders are coming out speaking for the head coach, one thing you don't want to do with your leaders on your team and your star players, you don't want to piss your star players off. Because say they would have got rid of Dan Quinn and brought in another coach that Matt Ryan's not fond of, that Julio Jones is not fond of, that's when players start to request trades. So that's why I said, basically, when I seen Julio Jones come out and vouch for Dan Quinn and basically state that Dan Quinn is doing his job, he's getting us prepared during the week, and guys are just not coming out here doing their jobs, guys are not coming out here and performing, you can't put that on coaching. You got to put that on the players. So as Mike said, players got to execute, and that's what I was talking about, and he just said it best. When you out there and you're not reacting, you kind of just stagnated, and that's what a lot of players were doing. They were kind of stagnated. When you're out there playing stagnant and you're not just reading and reacting, you're going to get exposed. And that's pretty much what happened to our team last year on defense mainly, is the guys were getting exposed because guys were not out there playing full. And Foye Oluokun talked about that when they asked him about being the starter or possibly being the starter. He said, last year, I was just doing too much thinking, and I just want going out there and playing. And that's why you study film. You study film all week to know your keys and know what you're supposed to do. So on Sunday, and that's what Ovie was talking about, is that on Sundays, the Sunday should be easy, because if you've been practicing and watching film all week, you should know what your assignment is. So basically, Dan Quinn has been talking about that this week as well in his interviews, about guys have to know their role. Everybody can't get 10 sacks. Everybody can't get 10 receptions in a game. You got to play your role. And that's what I'm looking for guys this year. So with Luke Stalker coming back, that's what I was talking about depth. I really think this year they've done a good job of bringing in the glue guys that's going to come in and do their job. They're not going to come in and necessarily try to be a star, but they're going to come in like a Russell Gage on a 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3. They're going to be the guy that's going to move the chains. They're not necessarily going to score a bunch of touchdowns, but they're going to be a guy that plays their role. And that was one thing I loved about Mohamed Sanu when he was here. To me, Mohamed Sanu was one of those guys that always played his role. He knew that he wasn't Julio Jones, but he knew he was the number 2 guy, and he knew what he was on the team to do. He was on the team to move the chains on 3rd down, and he was our gadget play guy, where you can put him in at quarterback, and he could throw the ball down the field. He could do different things. So that's what guys got to do. Guys got to embrace their role and know their role. And when they get out there on the field, they just got to play. Don't go out there thinking, because if you're out there thinking, you're going to be stagnated. And quarterbacks, all they need is that split second for you to be thinking, and they're going to take advantage of you. So,
Kevin?
Yeah, like I said, Dan Quinn, he's good. Like I said, good right there and there. Like I said, I think Raheem Morris also played a big part in that too, because you needed somebody that you could also trust as well. Well, I don't understand why they moved him to wide receiver coach in the first place. But I'm so glad they put him back on the defensive side of the ball. And like you said, another coach that nobody really gives credit for is Jeff Uber.
Yeah.
So,
I think he's gonna be.
So basically, like I said, as a collective, they all pretty important right now.
Great answer. Great answer. I love that answer.
We got another question. Do you think they're going to move Keanu Neal to linebacker like Thomas Davis Sr. did early in his career?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, I hope they do. I hope they do. And the reason I say I hope they do, but I hope they use him like I was talking about. It's all about knowing how to use we're playing chess, not checkers. So basically, you just got to know how to use your pieces. I would like to see Keanu Neal sometimes play safety, sometimes play linebacker. To me, I would love to see him if they moved him to a full-time linebacker, because what does Keanu Neal do best? He hit people. Point blank in the period. He's going to lay you out. Point blank in the period. So if you put him close to the line, I'm going to tell you one thing. Running backs don't think twice about running up the hole quick. They're going to definitely stutter step a couple times if they see number 22 in that hole, because they know Keanu Neal is about one thing. When he come in there, he's a hammer. That's all he's looking to do. He's looking to lay somebody out. So if they move him to linebacker, I definitely could see Keanu Neal being special, for the mere fact that if we had him in that linebacker spot instead of a Foye Oluokun, I think that we got the advantage against most tight ends, because we all know that he can cover tight ends because he was a safety. He's covered wide receivers. He's covered running back. So you ain't got the advantage if you got him in the box as that permanent linebacker. Now, one thing about Keanu Neal is he's a smallish player. So when you adding all of those smallish players, and Mike talked about this, you had those smallest linebackers like Deion Jones and Dayon Buchanan. The defensive line, those guys are going to have to do their job of holding the point up front, because a lot of times Deion Jones last year got washed out of plays because he's a smaller player. And if you watch Deion Jones play, a lot of times what he tries to do is use his speed to shoot gap and get around. But sometimes he gets washed out because those big guys like centers and guards, when they pull, they get up on him. And if they get up on him, it's over, because he's not that big and he can't share blocks well. So that's what I was talking about with Devondre Campbell, is Devondre Campbell, being that he was one of those bigger linebackers that was physical, he could shed those blocks. And guys like Keanu Neal, Deion Jones, they dogs. Don't get me wrong, they dogs. But they need those big guys like Grady Jarrett, Marlon Davidson. And that's what I loved about Mike talking about going to the 3-4. If you got those big guys up front that's going to hold the point and let Deion Jones and those guys be stars and fly to the football, man, it's going to be on and popping. Those guys going to get 100+ tackles. But if those guys up front is getting, manhandled and we losing in the trench, then it don't matter who you put out that linebacker spot. And that's what Mike's been trying to say on his channel. It don't matter. You can have goddamn on Mike Singletary, Brian Urlacher. If that defensive line is not doing their job and holding the point, then it doesn't matter. And that's why I think a lot of people, they miss out. If you don't understand the intricate details of football, you kind of have to watch the D-line. It's not really about the linebacker. It's more about the defensive line. And if you got a defensive line that does their job, and a lot of people, they forget about, like they always talk about the Legion of Boom in Seattle, and they talk about Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright, but they don't talk about Cliff Averill. They don't talk about Michael Bennett. They don't talk about Brandon Mebane and Red Bryant. Those guys they had up front. Those guys were dogs, man. And those guys kept Bobby Wagner and those guys clean so they can run sideline to sideline and make those, so they can make those tackles. But if you don't got those big guys up front doing their job, it's not gonna matter who you got at linebacker. So I would love to see Keanu Neal at linebacker, but it's all gonna come down to that defensive line. Real talk. So I hope that guys that we brought in on that defensive line and the depth that we brought in on the defensive line, I hope that kind of plays out this season where those guys can eat. Because if you let Deion Jones eat and you keep him clean, he'll easily have close to 120 tackles. Easy.
Easy.
What you think, Kevin?
All I have to say with that is, you hear them shoulder pads coming and them cleats coming. But like I said, if you want to have a physical defense, I think he'll be better fit at that linebacker spot, because you still need that physicality.
Yeah.
That linebacker spot. Because like I say, we got a lot of speed there, but we got a lot of finesse players, which is good because they got good ball skills. But you want a thumper. And like I said, all you got to do is ask Mike Evans, Willie Snead, Jimmy Graham. That's all you gotta know right there.
That's it. Hey man, I think so. Before Keanu actually, he went down. The Falcons were actually using him more as a linebacker. He came on a couple of blitz when the Falcons were having issues getting to the quarterback. It was in him and Dion. Towards the end, after the Colts game, I believe. But they were sending him on blitzes. They were really, doing some things differently last year with Keanu Hill. They didn't just have him playing safety. He was moving all the way around. So I contribute that to Raheem also over it because they realized that if we're going to, it wasn't necessarily, and I say this all the time. It wasn't necessarily the Falcons' defensive line that was inconsistent. They were consistent, but when you're less aggressive, you're not taking those chances and sending blitzes. Quarterbacks are comfortable in the pocket. It's not necessarily if you can get the Falcons. Vic Beasley, like I said, you can go back and see Vic Beasley and Takk McKinley. Them actually, those guys getting to the quarterback. You have the quarterback who can step up in the pocket. He can step up in the pocket, and he doesn't have to worry about Grady Jarrett. He doesn't have to worry about a blitz coming. That's where the issues lie with the Atlanta Falcons and their quarterback. That's why you saw guys like fucking what's his name? The quarterback, Jacoby Brissett. Who the hell was Jacoby Brissett? Why did he pick us apart? Because he was way too comfortable. And all he knew all he had to do was just worry about, Vic and Takk is going to be behind him. And all he had to do was just avoid Grady. If Grady wasn't coming, they knew the Falcons were bringing blitzes to the A and B gap. They knew that. So they were comfortable. All they had to do was just worry about Vic Beasley and Takk behind him. That's all. As a quarterback, and I'm telling you because I played myself quarterback, and I'm telling you, the worst thing that really annoys you is when you have everybody surrounding you, and you are you feel like seriously, you feel like a damn like a damn I want to say a zebra or something, being surrounded by fucking lions and shit. Like that's what you feel like. You feel surrounded, like you feel like you about to get your ass towed up, right? You about to get up. That's that feeling. And when you have that, man, as a quarterback, it makes you nervous. It makes you throw the ball. It makes you rush, and it makes you see ghosts. And that's what the Jets quarterback. That's what he's feeling right now because he's not used to all this pressure constantly being around. He used to having a solid pocket where he can step up and do his thing, and that's what differentiates great quarterbacks from average quarterbacks and sucky quarterbacks. The ability, because all these guys can throw, all these guys got arms, but if you can't feel pressure and you can't perform under pressure, that's always give Tom Brady credit for his ability to feel pressure. Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, a lot of these quarterbacks, Ben Roethlisberger, they can feel pressure. They can feel it, and they step up and they slide. Like you don't have to be Michael Vick in the pocket. You just have to have that feel for players around you, and that's why they have been great quarterbacks. And this is the reason why I say to all you dumb ass Matt Ryan haters, if you think you're just going to draft a quarterback and he's just going to magically be a top quarterback like Trevor Lawrence is seeing ghosts in in college. He's ghosts in college. Trevor Lawrence is great. If he was that great, he would have came out. These are tales. Like, these are the tales that I'm talking about. Like, these are the tales. You can't just make quarterbacks. Quarterbacks have to have that unique ability to feel pressure around it. And that's what you have to have in the league, man. If you don't have that, man, you can fail as a quarterback. And that's all I got to say about that, man. Because like I said, man, I'm tired of people disrespecting, Matt Ryan for just being consistent. I've never seen, not just the Atlanta Falcons fans, but I've never seen any hate towards a quarterback that has been. There's never been a quarterback outside of Peyton Manning. And I'm not. I said Peyton Manning, and I don't mean Drew Brees. Everybody say, "What about Drew Brees?" Drew Brees only got good when he came to New Orleans. All right, he's not as consistent as Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan started his career on fire. The first pass he ever threw was a fucking touchdown. So he started on fire, and he's still on fire, and he's consistent. The man was missed 2 games in his NFL career in 12 fucking years, and y'all want to replace him? Y'all want to replace a man that only missed 2 damn games in his whole career? Think about that. That's crazy as hell. Let's go to our party shots, man. Let's go to party shots. Let's go to party shots. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the hateful Matt Ryan, dog. Go. Let's party shot, please. Party shot, please.
Go ahead, Kevin. I'll give you the floor. Party shot, bro.
I really ain't got much to say. Everything's already been said. The whole thing I just say is just be safe out there.
All right, well, for my partner shots, it's gonna be exactly what Mike was saying. And I made a video about this, man. I want to see our Atlanta Falcons defense be more aggressive, and that's what Mike was talking about. We have to be more aggressive. We have to bring more blitzes. We have to put pressure on these quarterbacks, because to me, last year we played that cover 3 shell too much, that soft zone too much, and like you said, we made below average quarterbacks look like Hall of Famers. We made that one game against the Titans, Mariota, when they came to Atlanta, we made Marcus Mariota, who ended up losing his job to Ryan Tannehill later on in the season. We made him look like a first ballot Hall of Famer. So I want to see us more aggressive, man. And I talked about this in the Super Bowl year. One thing that Richard Smith did, and those guys did, him and Dan Quinn, they brought pressure, and we had players that played their role. A lot of people talked about how terrible Brian Poole was in coverage. But one thing I love about Brian Poole, he played like a linebacker. When he came downhill, he was coming. I don't know if y'all remember in the NFC Championship game when he knocked Aaron Rodgers' block off, but I remember. And when he knocked his screws loose, Aaron Rodgers didn't want no more parts of that. And that's what we're talking about, man. We need these guys to be physical. We need our defense to bring pressure, because a lot of the times I see too many times where people are too afraid to blitz. They always talk about where you're going to leave your corners on the island. The Philadelphia Eagles are one of those teams that blitz all the time, and they won the Super Bowl in 2017. Why did they beat the Patriots? Because they kept their foot on Tom Brady's neck. So we got to do the same thing this year, man. We have to bring pressure. We have to bring blitz packages. We can't be afraid and sit back in these zones, because the way that the league now is set up, where the receivers are protected, the tight ends are protected coming across the middle, even now the quarterbacks are protected, where you can only sack them a certain type of way. Because I know y'all remember when Grady Jarrett in that 49ers game clearly sacked Jimmy Garoppolo and they called a flag. So we have to just come with it this year. We can't be afraid of when they throw the flag against us. I would bring pressure, man. If somebody come across the middle, I'm gonna tell my players, don't play half speed. If you get a flag, so be it. But I tell you one thing, that receiver, when he come across the middle next time, he not gonna reach way out for that football. He gonna get alligator arms because he gonna be nervous about getting hit. So I'm gonna say, if you're gonna get a flag, make it count. I'm not saying go out there and play dirty, but I'm saying go out there and play football, man. Go out there and play physical. Because to me, the last couple seasons, our defense we've been playing way too lackadaisical and way too soft. So this year, I want to see our defense be more aggressive. If you look at Mike Zimmer and what he does with Minnesota, with those double-A pressures, with the linebackers coming, you got to bring different things at these quarterbacks. The quarterbacks nowadays are too accurate for you to allow them to sit back in the pocket comfortable. So we got to throw them off balance. So I just want to see our defense be more aggressive. I don't care what type of scheme necessarily that we run. We just got to make sure that we stay aggressive in whatever we do. And I don't want to see players out there playing half speed. I want to see guys going out there reading and reacting, and being athletes. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. But if you're standing in the middle and you don't know what to do, you're going to get exposed. And pretty much that's what happened all season last year. It was too many guys out there thinking, and it wasn't enough guys out there just going and flowing with the game and being aggressive. So guys need to come in here, know their roles, and come in there and be aggressive, man. Put hits on players. Forget all of that sticks defense. I hate seeing that sticks defense on 3rd and longs and stuff like that, where guys go way. You put all your players at the first down mark. I hate that because I've seen too many times where offenses pick up the first down because we're putting our guys way back in some type of zone, and we're trying to come up and make a tackle, and they end up getting the first down anyway because your guys have no momentum coming forward to make a tackle. But that's all pretty much I got to say is I just want to see blitz grits. I want to see us aggressive, man. I want to see that Atlanta Falcons defense of 2016 when they were getting turnovers. I want to see our defense get after these quarterbacks, and I want to see us call some quarterbacks to make some miscues. Because when you bring that pressure, trust me, it's going to be some tip footballs where it's going to be some easy interceptions out there to be made. That's all I got, man. Go ahead, Mike.
Miss Maggie, go ahead and get your plug shot in before I get mine, because mine's a little bit serious. Okay.
Well, I wanted to go last because it was a bit more of a I kind of I can go ahead.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
You go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go.
Because I wanted to be uplifting after this, so you can go ahead and do yours. That's why
okay.
I said I wanted to last.
Yeah. Because it's something that I've noticed. I typically don't get into politics, to be honest, but it's something that I just have to say, and just seeing things are kind of irked me, to be honest. We say all the time that we love our daughters, love our sisters, we love our mothers, and we love our friends and whatnot. But when in actuality, like, even females don't even care about females. They want to see this woman fail. And, I always say that people make mistakes. Like, everybody makes mistakes, all right? Nobody's perfect. Everybody has some blemish on their record at one point in time. Nobody's going to, live relatively sin-free. No, nobody. So when I see so many people going at Kamala, it really pissed me off, because we celebrated when Barack Obama won the election, and then we have a female who could quite possibly be one of the first, if I'm not mistaken, the first vice president. She has that opportunity right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we have that ability. We have that in our hands right now. But instead of everyone, hopping on board and being, happy for her, people going at her and saying she's not for this person or that person. It's like, these are politicians. You got to understand that what they are dealing with, they have to, they work for everybody. That's one thing that I always give politicians their credit for. They just don't stand for one particular person. They have multiple people and multiple needs to live and to work and to help. And it's just not Black people. So yeah, she's had her transgression, but can we just for once stop disrespecting Black women? Like, it's disgusting. Everybody was on, for Miss Clinton and all the other, quote unquote women that are running for office and all this type of stuff. Y'all on board for that, but when a Black woman who has the opportunity to become vice president of the United States, even Black people are just disrespecting her. They're saying she's this and she's saying it's this. Like, I don't understand the need to continuously back down. Like, if she hasn't done anything, but at least congratulate her for becoming the first. Again, if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but she has the ability to become the first Black woman as vice president of the United States. And I think that's a huge accomplishment. I think that goes well beyond, because we have so many young women and some young minorities, whether it's Asian, Black, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So many women who want to be heard. That's what we should be focused on. Someone who, like our daughters, who, you know, they probably think they can't become the vice president. But when they see someone like Kamala, who is an African American woman, they can now say, okay, someone who looks like me and come from a background like me did it. So now I can do it. And that's like, this is why I have shows like this, man, is because I want to put guys on like you. I want to help guys like you and Kevin, you know, and Miss Maggie to like live out our dreams. Because if you can't see it, if you don't see it, you can't accomplish it. You got to first see it. So that's all I got to say, man. Let's stop hating on the girl and just let her do her thing. Let's be happy for her.
Okay, and that kind of lead into what I want to go into. This is the third episode of Red Cup Rants 2. And this is from the heart. This combination right here is a positive, is where the direction we're trying to go with the Atlanta Falcons Nation news. It's just too many news places that just shine a negative light on our Falcons, even in Atlanta. Like people from New Orleans and everywhere listen to our radio channels. It's like, do we even have any support because they hate on us so bad? So this combination right here, to me, is what needs to happen in Atlanta, period. So you guys put them super chats in here. Y'all support this team right here, because these three right here, I'm just here for, you know, just to keep everything in order. But these three right here are the guys you guys want to stand behind, because we're going to continue to bring special guests on that's going to shine a positive light, because even previous players don't get any type of love right about now. So support Jew Talk Sports on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to him. Kevin, we're going to get him on and do some live things soon. Please be on the lookout. Make sure y'all look for Atlanta Falcons Nation YouTube as well. If you got some commentary you want to do and podcast you're scared to do, come do it. Because these guys right here, especially Kevin, he was scared to do it. But guess what? Follow your dreams. We're opening up a platform for people that want to get their voices out for the Atlanta Falcons Nation, period. So I just wanted to support these guys right here. I'm proud of all of them. And just keep it going. Y'all keep coming back every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Show your love, show your support, leave comments, subscribe, share. Let everybody know that these right here are the guys y'all need to keep on continuously. So go ahead and support, donate, do whatever you need to do, because I'm happy with this combination and it's just been positive all around, and you don't get that too often. I don't even watch ESPN. I don't listen to none of that about Atlanta Falcons, because we don't get any love. And I feel like the team that we have right about now, we about to make some noise if we get to play now, because on paper we're looking pretty good right about now. So I have confidence in what we have. And they, you know, these little rumors about Todd, you know, people, they bringing out negative stuff like Todd limping, but he's dancing and everything else. So y'all trying to bring negativity to our team already, and we ain't even been on the field yet. So stop that. So support these guys. Subscribe to both channels, Strictly Prohibited Network, Matt Mike Sports, as well as Jew Talk Sports on YouTube. We all over the place, all right? Atlanta Falcons Nations as well. And that's all I got to say. Support y'all.
Yes,
subscribe. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, y'all.
Hey.
All right, man.
Y'all ain't shit. I'm just
Hey.
y'all know.
Hey, we do talk shit now. We do talk shit
Hey,
now.
man. Give me a shit talk here. All right, man. Look, it's still Red Cup Rants. I'm still a part of it, but that's going to be a show that's strictly for just for all types of sports, from not just Atlanta Falcons. I wanted to have the Atlanta Falcons a Red Cup Rants that was just strictly for Atlanta Falcons, and we could just answer you guys' questions. But please, I still very much a part of Red Cup Rants 1. You won't see me a lot there, but man, support Dre. Please support Dre. When I tell you he's the reason why you're getting Mad Mike right now. All right, he's the reason why. He'll probably say, "No, man, you did this on your own." No, Dre is the reason why I started this. Okay, he pushed me. He had he wanted to do it, but he needed someone, just to hold his hand a bit, like a brother does, and help him along. And he helped me get there, and that's why I say, I'm this is what I want. I want to help you. I want to help Maggie. I want to help Kevin. You guys have talent. Let's stick together and get this shit done. All right, all you people. If you have not subscribed to these channels, I have links in the description so you can subscribe to every one of us. All right, please subscribe. Subscribe.
You know what?
I got 5 on it.
Subscribe. Hey.
I'm about to do that right quick after this end. Because I do got 5 on it. So
we good, man. Y'all crazy.
That's it, man. That's all I got to say about that. And
that's right, y'all. And we out.
Deuces.
Peace.